Okay, so you want to make real money online here in Kenya. But let's be honest, it feels like a total minefield out there, right? Full of scams, confusing advice. Well, this explainer is here to cut through all that noise. We're going to give you a practical, safe, and actionable plan to actually get started. And you know what? Right off the bat, I want to tell you, you are absolutely right to be suspicious. If you've been hesitating, or if you felt like most of these online opportunities are just too good to be true, your gut feeling is spot on. I mean, we all saw what happened with remote tasks back in March 2024. A huge popular platform just gone from Kenya. It left thousands of people totally stranded. And that right there, that's the core problem. So the real question isn't just how do you make money online, it's how do you do it safely? How do you build something that isn't going to just vanish overnight? And that is exactly what we're going to cover. We've got a plan. First, we'll talk about the reality of online work. Then we'll get into the jobs that actually work. After that, how to get paid, and maybe more importantly, how to spot the scams. I'm going to give you a 30-day starter plan, and we'll wrap up with how to survive and grow this thing for the long term. Okay, so first things first, let's get real about the world you're stepping into. Because honestly, understanding the challenges is the very first step to actually beating them. So you're facing a few major hurdles. We've already talked about it, but platforms can just pack up and leave without any warning. Scammers? Oh yeah, they're everywhere, just waiting for newcomers. And sometimes it can feel like the people who have succeeded are keeping all the secrets to themselves. All of this points to one single critical idea. You have to diversify. Relying on one thing is a recipe for disaster. All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions. We're diving into the jobs that are legit, that are in demand, and that you can absolutely do from right here in Kenya. So here's a quick look at the top 10 opportunities out there. Now, I've kind of ordered these from the easiest to jump into, like freelance writing, all the way to things that might take a little more groundwork, like affiliate marketing. We're going to zoom in on a couple of the best ones to start with. So, freelance writing, what is it really? It's pretty simple. Businesses all over the world need stuff written. We're talking blog posts, descriptions for their products, those posts you see on LinkedIn, emails. And you can be the person who writes that stuff for them, right from your computer. And listen, getting started is way more straightforward than you might think. You don't need some fancy website. Just write a few sample articles, maybe about local topics you know well. Then, sign up for a free profile on a platform like Upwork or Fiverr. And for your portfolio, just put your samples in a Google Doc and share the link. Seriously, you could do all of that today. Okay, let's look at another one with huge demand, graphic design. I mean, think about it. Every single business needs visuals. Every Instagram post, every TikTok video, every logo you see, someone had to make that. There is a massive, massive market for people who can create simple, clean designs.
And just like writing, you can get started for free. You can learn everything you need to know about the basic design tools right on YouTube. Make a few sample social media posts, maybe a simple logo, and then you can start offering your services on a site like Fiverr or even just in local Kenyan business groups on Facebook.
Now, I need you to listen to this one very carefully. A huge warning about those microtask sites. The whole remote tasks situation taught us a really painful lesson. So here is the number one rule. Use these sites for a little extra cash? Sure, but never, ever rely on them as your main source of income. They're just too unstable. Okay, let's talk about something that makes a lot of people nervous, getting paid. And just as important, protecting yourself from all those scams out there. This is where you really need to have your guard up. So how do you actually get your money? Well, for international clients, your best bets are Pioneer or Wise. They are basically the industry standard for freelancers. They let you get paid in dollars or euros, and then you can transfer it right to your Kenyan bank account, and from there, M-Pesa. Simple. PayPal is also an option, but it can be a little tricky sometimes, so don't make it your only option. Pay attention, because this might be the most important slide we look at today. The difference between a real job and a scam is incredibly simple. In a real job, they pay you. In a scam, you are asked to pay them. I don't care if they call it a training fee, an activation fee, a software fee, whatever. If they ask you for money, it's a scam, period. So let's be crystal clear about this. If you see any of these things, it's an immediate red flag. You stop what you're doing, you don't reply, you don't argue, you just walk away. Real clients will never, ever ask you for money. They'll use the official contracts on whatever platform you're on, and they won't promise you the world for 5 minutes of work. You have to trust your gut on this. Okay, so You know what jobs are real. You know how to stay safe. Now for the fun part, the practical part. This is a simple, no-fluff 30-day plan to get you from where you are now to landing your very first paying client. Here's your month, all broken down. Week 1 is all about learning. Just pick one skill and make a few samples. Week 2, you get online. Build those profiles on Upwork or Fiverr. Then, week 3 is all about action. You've got to apply for jobs every single day. And by week 4, once you've landed a couple of small gigs, you can start to raise your prices and make sure your payment accounts are all set up. It's all about small, consistent steps. Look, getting that first client, it's a huge deal. It's a massive milestone, but it's not the end of the road. So let's talk about the mindset you need to turn this from a one-time gig into a sustainable, long-term career. And here it is, the blunt truth. If you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. Relying on one platform or one client isn't a business plan. It's gambling. To protect yourself, to build something real, you absolutely must have multiple streams of income. So before you click away and get started, just run through this final checklist. Rule 1, never, ever pay for a job. Get your Payoneer or Wise account set up right now. Create those 3 portfolio pieces today. Don't wait. Then apply, apply, apply. The first client is always the hardest one to get. And finally, always try to keep at least one local income source as your safety net. And this really brings us to the most powerful idea of all. Don't get so obsessed with building a perfect profile on some website. Focus on building real, valuable skills. Because a platform can disappear tomorrow. But your skill as a writer or a designer or a marketer, that goes with you wherever you go. That is your real security. So I'll leave you with this one question to really think about. Looking at all the options we've talked about, which one skill are you going to pick? Which one are you going to build your 30-day plan around? Pick one and get started today.